Yo, what's up, fellow peeps? It's lit to have you all here at UCR on campus housing. We're absolutely hyped that you chose to crash with us and get your learn on. Now, let's get real for a sec. Sharing your space with roomies can be a bit of a learning curve, no cap. But trust me, it's low-key one of the most rewarding experiences you'll have here. Having a solid roommate bond is clutch, because your roomies can seriously impact your social, academic, and personal game at UCR. Since you'll be chilling in your room quite a bit this year, we're all about hooking you up with the best setup for max comfort while you grind and live your best life. Right after you've moved in, it's essential to link up with your roomies and lock down a roommate agreement. This is a move you want to make during week 0 or week 1. A roommate agreement is all about staying proactive and preventing issues by having a solid convo about what you are expecting and how you will make sure those expectations are met. Peep these topics you will want to cover: noise level, guest policies, cleaning routines, sharing stuff, study times, and sleep schedules. And don't forget to chat about how you want your roomies to hit you up if they are ever beefing, and vice versa. It's all about keeping the vibes good. You feel me? So, during the first couple of weeks of the fall quarter, your RA will hit you up to chat about making a roommate agreement official. This is the time when you'll sit down to hash out the details, and your RA will jot down all the deets of what you and your roomies agree on. You'll even get a copy of those notes. If you couldn't quite see eye to eye during your initial chat with your roomies, or if anything's changed since then, this is your chance to bring it up. Your RA's main goal is to ensure that everyone in the room feels like their voice is heard, and that y'all are all on the same page when it comes to expectations. Just so you know, it's mandatory to complete a roommate agreement with your RA. When you're kicking off the convo with your roomies about what's what in your shared space, consider diving in with questions like, what's our usual bedtime or nap time around here? How do we feel about noise when we're catching some Z's? Are we cool with leaving the lights on while we snooze? Talk about having guests over. Do we want peeps to drop by, and if so, how many's a crowd? What's the heads-up situation if someone's coming over? Are overnight stays on the table? When it comes to keeping things tidy, what's the deal with our clean space? What chores need doing and how often? Who's handling each task? Creating a cleaning chart could save some stress. Think about sharing stuff. Which items are fair game for sharing? Are we pitching in to cover shared item costs? How should we give a heads up when using shared stuff? And if you're hitting the books in your space, is studying in the mix? Are there different rules for guests and noise when we're grinding? Taking a sec to chat through these questions will help keep everyone on the same page and make for a smoother roommate experience. Living with roomies is a surefire way to run into a few conflicts. It's just part of the human experience, right? But when stuff comes up, here are some solid tips on how to handle it. Keep it real and talk face to face. Approach your roomie with chill vibes and respect. Be straight up and crystal clear, no beating around the bush. When your roomie's got something to say, keep your cool and really listen to what they're getting at. Don't cut each other off and take turns spilling the tea. When you're in listening mode, don't sweat what to say next. Take a sec to mull over what they've dropped on you. Aim for a win-win situation that works for everyone in the crib. And hey, don't forget to check any policies that lay out the do's and don'ts for noise levels, guests, and cleaning rules. It's a helpful guide when you're figuring out what's what. Totally get it. Sometimes you and your roomies might hit a wall and need some backup. That's where your RA can swoop in and play the mediator role. They're like the neutral peacemakers who help you all chat it out and set some ground rules for an effective convo, all in the name of finding middle ground. Hit up your RA by shooting them a message on Discord or give their door a knock. If you're not sure who your RA is, no stress, just reach out to the RSO for a hand. If things are still feeling rocky with your roomies, even after those one-on-one convos and the RA stepping in, it's all good. You can level up and request a sit-down with the resident director, RD, for your community. To make that happen, cruise on over to your RSO in person and ask about snagging a conflict intake form. Once you've filled it out, the RSO will shoot that form over to the RD, and they'll hit you up. Just keep in mind, it might take a couple of business days before you hear back from the RD after you've sent in that form. It might seem tempting to bounce and ditch the current situation, but hear me out. Switching spots doesn't always mean you'll dodge the same issues. Learning to deal with conflicts is a solid skill to pick up in college and as you gear up for your future career. Our move is to encourage all residents in our communities to give mediation a shot and see if you can reach a middle ground with your current roomies. But hey, if a move really is on the table, just so you know, there's a minimum charge of $75 for admin stuff. And you might catch an extra cleaning fee of $75 for your current digs. We're wrapping it up. And we hope this video gave you the lowdown on improving your roommate game and navigating the roommate conflict process here at UC Riverside. Wishing you an epic year ahead, filled with good times and unforgettable memories.